So this is a pound dollar analysis for Friday the 13th of October. Now what has the market done since we've done the analysis from yesterday? Now prices have stalled before getting up to 32.81, and we did have a bit of a sell-off in the I suppose I was just putting it lightly. We did have a bit of a sell-off in the pound against the dollar. Now we sold all the way back down to the level I've already identified at 31.47. That showed, again, this underlines the importance of having your horizontal levels of support and resistance on your chart. And again, it is to overemphasize a point. Let's just go into it a little bit. So I do have moving averages and I do have horizontal support and resistance. And the reason I do mention these areas because I use the moving averages as dynamic support and resistance, and I use the standard horizontal support and resistance areas, and these are just pretty much reference points to see where prices are likely to retrace to, or where they're likely to move towards, whether upwards or downwards. And when they are respected, it does give you a lot of confidence in the market. You can see the market. Say you saw the sell-off here. Say you didn't have this horizontal support marks on the chart at 31.47. You might be thinking, oh, where is this market going to go? You might not think about taking profits. You might think about taking partial profits. But if you're looking at this 70 you already have it on your charts, you might say, okay, what I'll do is I'll take partial profits, or I'll look to see how prices react in and around that area, 31.47. If I do get a bullish candle, a possible reversal candle, like say a pin bar, as can be seen here at the candle which opened at 1 p.m. today. Or you would say, well, I'll wait for further confirmation, as can be seen by this candle which opened at 3 p.m. today, because this would be a strong sign. You had a pin bar, you had an inverted hammer, and the next candle was a pretty bullish candle, closing here its high, didn't test its lows. So you could say, you know what, I'm just going to take profits here. I'm just not going to wait for this market to retrace and stop me out for a break even or a possible loss. Now, it has worked out here today. Obviously, there are occasions where prices just pretty much go through horizontal supports and resistance without even looking back, without slowing down, without consolidation. That is possible, but when you do see consolidations and possible reversals in around the level, you could say it's great to be conservative and take profits or secure some of the profits that you already have. Now, back to the analysis. So we've pulled back all the way down to 31.47, and we were brought back up. So it suggests there are bulls in the market. So this could be interpreted as being in the context of this 1 hour time frame. This could be interpreted as being a higher low, which is bullish. So we had low, and we have now had a higher low. Now we've come all the way back up to the level I've identified yesterday that I expected price to go, but we retraced back to 31.47 before actually getting up to the level I've identified at 32.81. Now we've come up to 32.81 pretty strongly from the support of 31.47, and we've pulled back a little bit, as can be expected when we reach a horizontal support level. Now we have pulled back, and we do appear to be forming a bull flag, as can be seen here. The pullback has not been as strong as, say, this reversal down here. So we don't have large candles closing near their lows. Instead, we've had smaller candles, and we've had counter candles not long after. So if you look here on the left of the chart where we had the sell-off here, we've got candles near their lows, pretty sizable candles, indicating there is some momentum in the market to the downside. Now in the formation over here on the pound USD, we have smaller candles again, but the issue I would have to point out is during these candles here are during the European session, so there are a lot of market participants. Now these candles over here, the smaller ones, are pretty much near the end of the US session. Europe's already closed. Asia has not opened. We're heading into the Wellington session, so there are a few caveats. There are a few elements you have to take into account, but there are a few elements you have to take into account in regards to the size of these candles, because even though they are smaller, we could still, once the Asian session or European session open, we could still see a sell-off. But based on how prices are developing, I'm expecting a bull flag and a continued move to the upside. So I'm expecting prices to retest the 3281 before proceeding up to this moving average here. Let's see where it is. It's at 33.25, and ultimately the horizontal support resistance level, well, it will be resistance in this case with 33.50. Now we're going to see how prices react up if it does not successfully navigate this higher time frame moving average, and 33.50. If it does successfully negotiate there, 33.68 is a minor level. It's a previous pivot on the weekly chart from a couple of weeks ago. If successfully navigates it, I'll be looking for price to move to 34.29. Prices are unlikely to move to 34.29 tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, today, Friday the 13th of October. But it is a possible target to go look at going to next week. Now, if we do break down from 32.81, it's pretty obvious where the levels are going to be. We've got this 200 period moving average currently sitting at 31.92, below which we do have the level which we sold off from at 31.47. If we go back all the way down to test 31.47, as mentioned in previous videos, if we test a level of support or resistance quite a few times over a short period of time, the level tend to break in the direction of which momentum is testing. So if it's from being tested from above, it likely breaks down and prices continue their sell-off, or if it's being tested from underneath, prices break up and continue the bullish buying momentum. So that pretty much concludes the execution time frame, the 1 hour charts. Let's go out to the higher time frames to see where we are. So it's going to be pretty brief. So we had this period of consolidation here in late 2016, early 2017. We've had a break from the lower range here to the upside. Now, the previous month of September was putting in a bullish engulfing candle, subsequently sold off a bit, and followed that selling momentum followed into this month, where there was further selling. Now, we didn't reach the low of September before some buying came into the market, and buyers are, I suppose, until the end of the month, which is a couple of weeks away now. Buyers have stepped into the market. So for buyers to retake the monthly open, they will have to get above 33.68, the level I've already identified on the hourly charts. So 33.68 might be a stronger area than I first anticipated, because 33.50 and 33.68 are pretty close together. It's within a 20 pip area of interest. So if I go down to, say, the weekly chart, which is the next time frame down, what are we looking at? Now, again, on this weekly chart, we've seen pretty much a series of higher lows, pullbacks in the market, and the 20 period moving average currently acting as dynamic support for prices. Now, we've come down to 20 period moving average with a strong momentum candle, and we've retraced quite heavily from it. Now, the strong momentum candle likely indicated an exhaustion of bears in the market, well, at least for now. And they've sold the market all the way down to the support at 20 period moving average. Now, the buyers have stepped back in from the support, as can be seen on at least 3 occasions where prices have gone on where prices have tested the 20 period moving average on a weekly time frame. The buyers have stepped in and bought back up, so they could be just value buyers. They're waiting for opportunities to buy the market on pullbacks. So on this weekly time frame, again, we are looking bullish. We are above the 20 and 50 period moving average. So that should conclude my analysis for the pound against US dollar. Before I go, LCS, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.